We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. SOBE Wine and Food Festival Drag Brunch features dazzling performances and delectable brunch offerings while benefiting Florida International University. I was there, and just wait till you hear every juicy detail of the stars that were also there.
Sports-themed issue of Outsports magazine is coming Thursday, and it features Sid Ziegler's insightful Outsports collaboration and highlighting the pivotal 10 LGBTQ+ sports moments.
Controversial comedian Shane Gillis returns to Saturday Night Live, addressing past contentious jokes against gay and black while creating new ones.
The 2024 Stonewall Gala at the venue in Wilton Manor celebrated LGBTQ+ heroes, including Diana Nyad. We were in the house, and you get to hear every fabulous detail.
Tennessee passes a law letting officials refuse marriages, posing a threat to LGBTQ+ rights despite federal protections.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news, broadcasting live and then available on demand. Available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news. It's Monday, February 26, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
Hello, everyone. Again, I am your anchor at Queer News Tonight, FayWhat? And this evening we bring you the news of and perspective representing the LGBTQ+ community from South Florida, America, and across our planet.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens unique in the LGBTQ+ news, you'll see it and hear it here.
Outsports magazine Happening Out Television Network is a non-profit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ+ community. Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our Black community, Latino, lesbians and queer women, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ nonprofit media companies in America, Outsports Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ+ experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader community.
That's right, Eric, and let's begin by welcoming our panel. We'll begin with the hottie himself, Dr. Eric Summers. He is just so gifted, but he's also really hot. I'm so sorry. He's the executive director of Pride Lines, Miami's LGBTQ community center. He served as a primary therapist and program director at Eye Care Treatment Center in West Palm Beach. He also was the founder and CEO of the New York-based nonprofit, The Thinkubator. Edward, I hear that you have a giant team supporting Pride Lines at the AHF Florida AIDS Walk on Saturday, March 9th, which is the only time of the year that I wake up that early aside from doing my show. Okay?
Yes.
Tell me what's happening.
It's very exciting. So on Saturday, March 9th, AHF is hosting Florida's AIDS Walk. It's the biggest AIDS walk in Florida, and we have about 10 organizations that are benefited organizations. Pride Lines is one. We have a huge team this year. We're very excited to raise, probably going to raise about $150,000, probably more, this year, and all proceeds goes towards our work in preventing and treating HIV and AIDS.
I love that.
So we're very excited about it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the AIDS Walk. It's always a great time. They just announced that they're bringing Todrick, and I love me some Todrick, right? Yeah. Can people still join your team to walk?
Absolutely. All you have to do is just go to FloridaAIDSWalk.org, look up Pride Lines, and join our team.
All right.
This year is particularly special. My family is coming down from New York. My grandmother passed away, not from AIDS, but she was a big supporter of mine, always would just support me in everything that I did. She passed away in August, and so my family decided to form Team Harriet. And so we have Team Harriet, and we're raising money for that team just because she was such a huge support. When I lived in New York, my grandmother would come to work with me daily in one of my businesses. And so, so my family wanted to do that to support. So we're excited. It's going to be a great time.
And I can't wait to meet your family.
Yes.
Don't be embarrassed by me. Introduce me to them. Okay?
Oh, never.
Okay, I'm just
They're big
saying.
Afro-Latino Latino family. You know, they're
so I
wild,
fit
they're
right
crazy.
in.
You fit right
I
in. You
fit
know,
right in.
those Cubans are crazy from New York,
my
man.
God, I love
yes.
that. But don't tell my wife that, okay?
All right,
because
all right.
Cubans from New York and New Jersey are different than Cubans from Miami.
They are.
Like
You say they're the
like
same.
all Latinos.
Like all Latinos. When they get into
Puerto
something.
Rico, et cetera. It's all
For
different,
sure.
yeah.
But we will be there for sure. We will all happening out. The whole team will be there as well. So you'll see all of us out there. Join Pride Lines and walk with them. It's going to be a fabulous time. Next up, let's welcome my brother from another mother. He's Dale Stine. He's a celebrated photographer in the LGBTQ plus community. He's the director of music ministry at the famous Unity on the Bay and a moderator of Miami Gala, South Florida's largest LGBTQ plus Facebook group, which also can be found on IG as @QueerListOfficial. Dale, I hear that you're going to be the official celebrity photographer at Winter Party Festival's VIP cocktail reception. Yeah. Friday, March 1st. Tell me all about it.
Yeah. I love doing that event. I mean, I love anything.
You've done it for a while.
Many years. I can't remember the last time I didn't do it. And it's going to be great because this year, you know, the honorees are Jeff and Todd Domey.
Oh, we love them.
We love them both. I mean,
Yes.
they're wonderful in the community with everything they do.
They were
You know,
trailblazers
Save
with marriage equality. My God.
Well, one of the 5
Yes.
couples who were, and Save, of course, and just My Hollywood Pride. They're just so involved and wonderful.
They're in
They really
everything.
deserve.
They're in everything.
If anybody deserves to be honored, they do.
For sure.
And so it's going to be super fun, and I'll see you there, and I'll take a photo.
Thank
and
you.
anybody else is there, just grab me for a photo.
Photo op.
Thank you.
Right. Don't
Yes.
tap on my shoulder. That annoys me. And don't get, hey, you come here. 'Cause I will turn the other way.
No, never. But listen, being photographed by you is an honor, okay? And just telling you that. And so at an event, you get to do it for free. You get Dale to take your picture for free. All right? So make sure you look good.
Yeah.
Because he might pass you up if you don't.
Yeah, and just remember that I have control of the post-production. So be very,
Be very nice.
as I used to say to my dear friend Power, I used to say,
Power Infinity!
remember, dear, I have the originals.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I definitely will see you at the VIP
Anyway,
reception. Thank you, Dale. Next up, let's welcome Eric Restivo. I love this kid. Eric is well known for DJing at some of the largest clubs in WeHo and has had residencies in LA, P-Town, New York City, and now Wilton Manors, baby. He's the new television host of the W Boys, focusing on LGBTQ plus love for entertainment, premiering March 15th right here on the Happening Out television network. Eric, I see that you're hosting one of my favorite trivias, okay? I love your trivia, not because we're the winners so far.
Very competitive. They are very competitive.
We are, right?
Yes.
Tell us about Not Your Ordinary Trivia at the pub every Wednesday.
Yes, so it's my newest trivia night, where we take it seriously, not your ordinary, because it's 8 rounds of different trivia, basically. So the first round is normally a general knowledge. Second round could be anything like finish the lyric or who said that, famous quotes. Last week, the third round was do they have an Oscar? You had to guess random people all over the world if they have Oscars. There's a charades portion of it. There is a guess this film. There's Broadway. So I kind of just thought like of the most fun games growing up, and then a modern take
And you
on
put them all
of that.
together.
And I put them all together. There's so many amazing nights on the drive in Wilton Manors that I just thought this night would enhance everything else that's already late, especially at the pub. So yeah, it's building every week, and you guys are
killing it.
Killing it. Team Happening Out is there every week, and they crush it. Last week actually was Celebrity Lip Sync Battle, so it was a little bit of a smaller crowd, and Happening Out team, the people that were there, did not win. It was the first week that they didn't take on the ride, but it was the first week you weren't there.
Yeah.
So,
you know, and I wish that the name of our team was called the Happening Out team, but it's not. The name of our team is I Heart D's.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, wow.
Okay, and let's just say that they came up with that. I was running late. I got there at 7:15 and it started at 7 and they already picked their names before I got there. So it was like, we love D's and FayWhat.
Yes.
Can't you vote for a rename? I mean, that's a...
I don't love saying the name out loud over the mic. So although I love everything about the name, but I don't love saying it out loud. So I just thought Happening Out Network was more so the way to go.
I love it.
My gal pal and co-host for the W Boys premiering here on March 15th, John Hayden, came up with that name. So that might make a little bit more sense.
It
Makes a lot of sense.
It actually makes a lot of sense. The guy that doesn't get any is talking about loving them. Okay, got it. That all makes sense. By the way, John, enjoy. I know he's away on his cruise with his dad. So enjoy. Have a great time. We only talk about you when you're away.
Who's taking care of Mr. B?
He's got a
I'm
babysitter.
sure he's
got a
taken over the whole
for
house.
Sure.
You know, sometimes we also hit history with trivia, and Faye, we are getting ready to celebrate Women's History Month during March.
Right.
And I understand that you are the master of ceremonies, honey, the host to kick us all off. Tell us what's happening.
Listen, I got to tell you about that. Thank you so much to Michael Goodman and History Fort Lauderdale for all they do. You know, Women's History Month is in a couple of days, and they're kicking it off with an incredible Women Trailblazer Champions of Change event. And I am so beyond thrilled to be hosting the event. It'll be at the Galleria Mall, and it'll start at 5:30 p.m. and it'll be till 7:30 p.m. And so some of the people that are being honored are Arlene Pecora. She's the president and CEO of the Signature Grant. Jenny Morijong, Lori Savrulo, Singrid McCarvley, and Jasmine Shirley. Incredible women that have just paved the way, and they're CEOs and leaders in our community doing big things, you know, and we should be celebrating women not only in March, all year round, but this is a good start, right? And these women are just so incredibly deserving of these Trailblazer Awards, because that is exactly what they are in their own right. And I get to host it. So I'm really looking forward to it. The photo exhibition is going to be up all month long, so you can go on over to the Galleria Mall in Fort Lauderdale and check that out for the whole month of March. And, you know, just reflect on women that have done big things in your life, right? They're part of Women's History Month in their own right as well, and celebrate them this month and every month, right? So folks, we are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for Monday, February 26, 2024. Let's begin by queering up drag culture. Neil Patrick Harris, David Burtka, Alaska, Willam, and more host SOBE Wine and Food Festival, Drag Brunch. You know, an outdoor drag brunch that is part of a world-class event like South Beach Wine and Food? Well, it's going to be incredible. And that's exactly what happened at the SOBE Wine and Food Festival's 5th annual drag brunch hosted by Neil Patrick Harris and David Burtka, with Mistress of Ceremonies, the one, the only Miss Athena Dion. Performances by Alaska 5000, Willam, Cynthia Lee Fontaine, and the Our House Queens, I Love You Juicy, made a dazzling return at the Miami Beach Bandshell on February 25th. Stars present included The View's Anna Navarro. I love her. She's so damn cute, and she brought her dog. Real Housewives of Miami star Julia Lemigova and her wife, tennis icon Martina Navratilova, and a whole lot more. This extravaganza featured an array of delectable brunch dishes from renowned South Florida chefs, accompanied by refreshing wines and craft cocktails. Attendees were treated to jaw-dropping performances by some of the most sought-after drag queens. Held on the beach at Miami Bandshell, this event, known for its vibrant celebration of pride, enthralled guests with its good vibes-only atmosphere, encouraging everyone to join in the fun. With 100% of net proceeds benefiting students of the Chaplin School of Hospitality and Tourism Management at Florida International University, even the tips were donated. The South Beach Wine and Food Festival is one of the world's most exclusive. The brainchild of LGBTQ plus icon Lee Schrager of Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits, the drag brunch had many memorable moments. A highlight could have been when they had a stage malfunction during Willam's set, and she came back full force. Finally, Neil Patrick Harris and Burtka followed Willam through the crowd while singing her famous Chick-fil-A protest parody. Harris and Burtka collected tips in a Chick-fil-A bag. Yes, they did. How did they get that bag, though? Thousands of dollars in tips were raised. And can I say another thing about Mr. Lee Schrager? So, like, during the event, he whispered something to somebody. I'm not that cool. I wasn't sitting anywhere near him, okay? But I saw him whisper something over to someone, and all of a sudden, Athena got up and said, Lee Schrager just said that he will match every tip dollar for dollar.
Oh, my God.
Okay? And there had to be at least 400 people in there, okay? It cost about $250 to go to the brunch, so it wasn't a cheap night, right? And it wasn't a cheap day, but it was so worth it. Like, the performances were amazing. I was sad that I only saw Neil Patrick Harris like twice and real quick. I was like, Doogie! And maybe that's why I only saw him once or twice, because I kept on screaming Doogie at him, right? But Willam was incredible. Alaska 5000. I mean, Alaska brought it, Dale. I know she's one of your favorites. And I mean, she really was just like, you know, sometimes at these events, you see that the local girls work harder, right? And because the local girls were doing the damn thing. And some of the national girls will come in, do their show, and just kind of whatever. No, this one, it was like jam-packed from beginning to end, you know, and it was just pam, pam, pam. Once it was over, we were like, no, we want more. We want more. You know, it was a wonderful, wonderful time. It really was.
It's a great, I mean, I've never been because it's always in the middle of when I'm working at Unity on the Bay. But I love that they do it. And I used to photograph at the Wine and Food Festivals. I think it's a great organization. And Lee Schrager is totally iconic.
Yeah.
And I love that Anna Navarro supports because she and Lee are like that. They're tight,
like
tight.
I think I want to say her Facebook profile page or his is them together, like with a kiss, like giving each other a kiss. A little bit. I have been stalking Anna Navarro since she got that award at the Save Gala, right? I've been like hard on it. I've been hard stalking. Yeah. Like every time I see her, you see her look at me like this, right?
Tell Athena to get you in. You're like,
right?
You don't even have to slide into her DMs. I mean, Athena and she are like that too.
I know. I think Athena's embarrassed of me. Maybe that's why.
Athena still looks great for how hot it was, by the way. I was watching all the stories on social media. I too couldn't be there because of work, but was it at all, did they give the misters or anything, or was it just the heat, the Miami sun?
You know what the beautiful thing is? That everybody here at the table knows that the weather has been really odd lately, right? And we've been dressing like you dress in LA, like you're used to. We've been dressing in layers, right? That's something that you're taught when you move to California, right? Dress in layers because you don't know. It's cold in the morning, it's hotter later on, whatever. Yeah. The weather was perfect. It was 70 degrees. I brought a jacket for nothing because I didn't need it.
There was a cover over it. There was a cover over it.
There was a cover
over the stage.
Oh,
yeah.
No, over
all the tables as well.
Everything is covered. But again, but it's still 1 o'clock in the afternoon, still 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and the drag queens are in full makeup, full padding, full everything.
Oh, yeah, but Athena's face, she never gets shiny. She beats that face with the powder, honey.
I'm just gonna throw a cup of water at her one day and be like, let me see.
Just like powdering glue
at all. Right. It was a wonderful event. If you're able to go next year, mark it on your calendar because it's one of the first events of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival that sells out every single year. So get your tickets and go look at my social media. I've got a ton of reels and everything, and everybody just brought their A game. It was just a really fantastic day. I am so happy to go. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, next, let's queer up sports. The 10 Outsports stories that changed the 21st century for the LGBTQ plus community and sports. Don't miss the upcoming sports-themed issue of Hotspots magazine hitting the stands on Thursday, leap year, February 29th. 2 days after my birthday. This special edition features a captivating feature from Sid Ziegler, the founder and editor of Outsports, the world's most important LGBTQ plus sports media outlet. He is also a co-founder of the National Gay Flag Football League. Recognized for his contributions, Ziegler has been honored with induction into the LGBTQ plus Journalists Hall of Fame. In collaboration with Hotspots magazine, Ziegler highlights the 10 most important stories that have shaped LGBTQ plus inclusion in sports in the 21st century. Beginning with Corey Johnson's courageous coming out in high school football in 2000, the NFL's ban on the word gay on jerseys in 2005, Brian Sims' influential disclosure of his time as a gay college football captain in 2009, and Michael Sam's historic journey out of the closet ahead of the 2014 NFL draft. The feature also spotlights Dalton Maldonado's experience as a gay basketball player facing harassment from opposing teams and Ryan O'Callahan's revelation of his struggles with homophobia in the NFL. The feature concludes with recent milestones, including the record-breaking number of out LGBTQ plus athletes at the Tokyo Summer Olympics in 2021 and Jacksonville Jaguars strength coach Kevin Maxon's groundbreaking coming out in the NFL in 2023. The feature also talks about Canisius, help me. Canisius, thank you. I knew I was going to get that wrong again. Canisius college runner Emily Scheck, thank you, Edward, disowned by her parents and sparked widespread support. Learn about Outsports' role in the NHL to reverse its ban on Pride tape, showcasing the impact of advocacy and media scrutiny in promoting LGBTQ plus inclusion in professional hockey. Get your free copy of Hotspots magazine to explore this compelling feature on LGBTQ plus sports. Wow. And
You made it.
I made it. Almost. Canisius.
Canisius. Yes, it's in New York. It's in Buffalo.
He's going to wake up tomorrow, he's going to go, Canisius.
I was like, who's Kanisha?
They're not dry, a lot that dry. But, I lived in New York for a lot of time, but I don't know Canisius.
I worked in higher ed. So, Canisius was part of the MAC league, sports league, which Marist, where I worked at and went to, was a part of that as well.
So it has a big sports tie-in.
Yes.
It's known as a big sports.
It is in New York.
Yeah. So anyway, I think this is a great thing that we're doing because, so for so many years, sports has been so homophobic. I mean, and still is in many ways.
Yeah.
So we know that the more people who come out and they do all these things, and it's been happening because the story's going back to, 2000 it says? Yeah. It's already a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we're still dealing with all this homophobia.
Yeah.
And it's not even representing the most recent stories of the coming out of many of the recent football players and whatnot, soccer, et cetera, et cetera. But I think it's a really good thing to highlight because it just helps our community.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we always make jokes about gays not knowing about sports, right? But a lot of gay people love sports,
Yeah.
A lot of gay people love sports. And, a lot of people also shy away from sports because of the toxic masculinity that, they've seen growing up and all that, I'm not ashamed. I watched the Super Bowl for the commercials and for the halftime show. Go Usher, right? That's what, that's me. But I also support my community, right? So when like the heavy lifter, was going out in the Olympics, right? I was going to support her, right? When the most out athletes were out in the Olympics, I started watching the Olympics to watch them, when Brian Sims, the football player, that was huge,
Huge.
Those are milestones. Those are moments that you all remember. Yeah. Wow, okay, if more people came out, and it sucks that a lot of people come out after they're retired because, it's a little safer, but you don't know what it's like to be in those locker rooms either,
I'm not also big on sports, but I love ice dancing.
A sport. I know, but I think you made a good point on the toxic masculinity a little bit. My partner loves sports. He was a soccer coach in Connecticut for a million years and this and that, but I think it's important because it needs to trickle down to like the sports bars too, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I feel as a gay man going in with my husband to a sports bar, if there's a game on maybe on a Sunday or something, and it's overrun with straights, and I love my straights, but if it's overrun with that energy, you already feel a level of discomfort. Like I do.
Isn't that crazy how you automatically feel bullied and they haven't told you anything?
Yeah, but,
right?
but then you start kind of getting those looks a little bit like, or from what I've noticed, and I just think that more coverage of this, any way that we can show it, would hopefully trickle into, these spaces.
But there are some, there's still a sports bar on Wilton Drive, but they're used
Gym bar.
Gym bar. We'll put something on every once in a while.
Of course, Gym bar shows a ton of games, but how great would it be to not have to feel like you can only go to one?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. But these milestones are important. And also, let's give kudos to Hotspots, because again, Hotspots is always thought about, okay, hot men on the cover, right? Hot places to go, wonderful events, or they're at musicals or at Broadway shows and blah, blah, blah. Right. But this is like history. This is stuff that maybe a lot of queer people, boys and men have never heard of and should educate themselves on.
I mean, it shows the other side of our community, right? Absolutely. It shows that we are such a diverse and vast community that we have people who like ice hockey, and we have people who like Broadway shows, and we have people who like sports and play sports. And so I think it's great.
You play sports?
I used to play basketball.
Of course you do. If you see his abs, if you see Dr. Edward Summers' abs, you wouldn't want to play basketball often.
And I used to play in the gay basketball league in New York, actually. So it was fun. It was amazing. I loved it.
And it's also important for the mainstream to see that we're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
That's another important
component. That's so important because some people look at us like we're alien life form and we don't have like normal things going on in our lives like everybody else does, and we do. We're just like you, straighties.
We're normal. We're normies.
I can throw
you gave birth to us. I mean, it happened.
Now, next, let's queer up entertainment. Did Shane Gillis get fired as cast member of Saturday Night Live? And why was he the host Saturday night? Comedian Shane Gillis, notorious for his brief stint on Saturday Night Live before being fired over controversial remarks, returned to SNL stage with a bold monologue addressing his past at Saturday Night Live. Gillis, who faced backlash for using slurs and derogatory language, urged the audience to move past his indiscretions, humorously pleading, quote, "Don't Google that." Despite his dismissal, Gillis found success boasting a thriving podcast, comedy specials, and a partnership with Bud Light. After acknowledging his parents in the crowd, he recounted a humorous exchange with his mom about their friendship. He quipped about himself, quote, "Remember when you were gay? Question mark. Remember when you were just a gay little boy?" End quote. Gillis humorously described the evolution of his son from being his mom's gay best friend to longing for privacy once puberty hits. Transitioning to edgy topics, Gillis delved into his family's experience with Down syndrome. Sensing the audience's discomfort, he joked, quote, "Look, I don't have any material that can be on TV," end quote. Undeterred, he painted a comical picture of his niece with 3 adopted black siblings. During SNL's, Gillis starred in skits like White Man Can Trump, where he hilariously portrayed a folks Trumps alongside James Austin Johnson's acclaimed impersonation. Sporting a spray tan and iconic Trump hair, Gillis delved witty jabs, mocking the former president's demeanor and mannerisms. Gillis' returns to SNL sparked mixed reactions, with some applauding his audacity while others criticized his choice of material. Interesting.
Unpack that.
It's very tough to unpack. I mean, he's a comedian, right? And I think he did, in fact, say some derogatory words in the past. That was 5 years ago. He's back. This is what he does. And I think that we can either take it really serious or we can just take it for what it is. It's comedy, right?
It's crap. I think it's crap. Okay, I think it's crap. Listen, if you're a good comedian, you had 5 fucking years to come up with new material. Okay, that's what I think. And second of all, I think it's a crutch for comedians to just make fun of our community. It's a crutch, bitch. All right? So you were on SNL. I can't believe SNL brought you back to host SNL because you were awful. All right? And for you to say, I don't have material for TV, then what the F are you doing on TV, bro? Like, it just didn't make any sense. I have lost so much respect for SNL over the years. And nobody that's left is good that I really, really, really follow and love. You know, bring back Amy Poehler. Okay? Yeah. Bring back Tina Fey. Those people were funny. You know?
They're busy.
But I'm sure
they're busy.
I'm sure SNL is doing it to try to bump ratings because
they need it.
Because it's controversy. So controversy will possibly bump ratings. You know, so that's probably what SNL does.
Yeah, even reporting on the story, it was very difficult to even just report on because there was nothing there, you know, and it was just very difficult, and the jokes were lame as fuck.
They weren't there.
It was just like,
but it's SNL. SNL still has that history. Still, you're on SNL, mother effer. Like, I can't get over that you're just gonna blame your material. And you were bad. It wasn't funny. I'm surprised that they brought you back. You're a transphobic person, okay? And you're doing jokes about my trans family. So I'm sorry. I'm not watching you or giving you a pass. I'm not.
It's tough. There are a lot of comedians, especially Facebook now has this Facebook Watch channel, right? Where you can kind of see what you see on YouTube. But if you're talking near your computer or your phone about anything, it'll show up right there. So a lot of comedians now are reverting to trans humor and making fun of Gen Z, like by saying that they are particular about pronouns and, oh, well, I'm just too old to even think about it. You can do it, but I won't accept it. So it's kind of like it's old already. Like we've already heard it, you know. For me, it's like there are so many funny things, like what happened to fart and queef jokes? Even just that.
They're always good, right?
Just saying it.
Exactly.
There are so many avenues of comedy that have been lost throughout the years because of whatever someone feels about how someone else looks, which is irrelevant to a comedy set. I mean, prank calls used to be one of my favorite segments that were done on the radio. Like, so many aspects of comedy have kind of, so I knew you were going to take the stance you did.
I'm sorry.
I agree with you. I also agree with you in the sense that comedy's comedy, and then I'm also bored of trans narrative. Like, get off already. It's enough. So do better. Comedy.
And it's happening with so many comics. With the trans community.
Right.
It's like, come on, really? It's just indicative of what's going on again in the mainstream.
That's right.
And it's not helping because they're just piling on and making it even harder.
You're helping with the rhetoric. You're helping with the rhetoric.
Just stop it.
Well, and perception is reality, Dale. Okay, so you can look at something. Chappelle My God, to me, Chappelle was iconic. I saw him do 4 hours straight in San Francisco, and I was enamored by the 4 hours that we were there. Right? With no trans joke. Not one.
No, you've got the fucking material.
Exactly.
I mean,
so you don't
our
need
show
to.
has done years and years and years of stand-up everywhere. Have you ever heard a trans, joke or a joke about the expense of a transhuman? Never.
Yeah.
So I mean, do better comedy, please. From this little gay boy. Thank you.
All right.
Next, let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Stonewall National Museum Gala honors Our Rights Are at Stake, Diana Nyad of Nyad. The 2024 Stonewall National Museum Gala was held on Saturday, February 24th at the venue in Wilton Manors. The evening featured a cocktail reception, open bar, delicious dinner, and a silent auction. Over 500 guests and VIPs attended this extravaganza, making it Stonewall's largest fundraising event, generating almost 50% of the organization's. That is major. This year's themes, Standing on the Shoulders of Heroes, was reflected in the honorees, including marathon swimmer Diana Nyad, CEO Stacey Ritter of Visit Lauderdale, and the stars of The Stroll HBO documentary by Kristen Lavelle. Special guest Xander Moritz added to the evening's excitement. Diana Nyad, renowned for her historical swim from Havana to Key West at the age of 64, made global headlines with her unprecedented cageless swim. Her story was featured in the new major motion picture Nyad, starring Annette Bening and Jodie Foster, highlighting her achievements. The movie recently won many awards, including multiple Academy Award nominations. Nyad's spirits resonated with the gala's celebration of Stonewall's 51-year history perfectly. She talked about her roots in Fort Lauderdale and repeatedly congratulated Visit Lauderdale for their work. She challenged the entire gay community to stand up to the governor and the politics of hate we are seeing in the state capitol. Hotspots Happening Out served as the presenting LGBTQ+ media sponsor of this extravaganza of an event, and an extravaganza it sure was. I want to say we were all there for. Dale, sorry. You were there.
He was there in spirit.
You were there.
It was a beautiful setup. The reception before the cocktail hour was so intimate. I really met some power players in this community. I can't say anything more great about the event. I didn't get to meet Diana Nyad herself. Faye was taking up all of her time with
well, you can rest assured that if there's a Faye's going to get a punch.
I will say this, her speech was so incredibly moving, though.
That's amazing,
was one of those speeches where, you literally hone in and listen to every word. And it was incredible because this is her home. She's from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
A lot of people move away from their hometown and kind of just look forward and don't come back. So it was an honor to be in the room and to celebrate the achievements of this woman and everyone else in the room, especially the actors from The Stroll. I can't say anything
It sounds like she really gave a call to action also.
Well,
she did. Great.
She dared us, she dared us to really do it. Yeah.
So much to unpack.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Stonewall, National Museum and Archives.
We love you.
Robert and all of you folks, you did an incredible job. Thank you so much for the invite and having us there. Thank you to Richard Gray and Stacey Ritter for allowing me to sit at your table. VIP bitches.
Yeah. We waved from the back.
We waved. I was right at the front.
I was like, okay, we're back here, honey.
Hi, my coworkers.
It was like when someone's in first class. You were in
Hi, my coworkers. I sent them back champagne and stuff. No, it was wonderful. So, Stacey Ritter is a powerhouse. She is just incredible what she's done with Visit Lauderdale. And I didn't know about her incredible past serving our community. Stacey Ritter is an ally. She's straight.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I've tried to hit on her various times. She's still straight, right? And what she does for our community is just ridiculous. What her and Richard Gray do at Visit Lauderdale and just their inclusion in everything that they do, for disabled folks, for LGBTQ plus people, for just everyone. They're constantly thinking about our community, and I couldn't be just more humbled and blessed to call them friends. So you guys were amazing.
Everyone under the sun. Right?
Yeah, everyone under the sun, and they really stick to that, and it was just incredible. But Xander was incredible. Xander is the young gentleman who has spoken out about gun rights, right?
Yes.
With his crazy hair, he looked adorable as ever.
He
was the one who brought up Robert Keston, and he was great at it. Then we talk about Diana Nyad. I got to meet her beforehand, right? And I might have squeezed her a little bit too tight and told her if she wanted to adopt a 40-something-year-old lesbian. She said she'd think about it after she looked at me up and down. So,
No adoption.
There was one photo I thought, wow, Faye is really in there.
I was not going to let that woman go. I had just saw Nyad a couple weeks ago, so I sent a picture to my wife like, hey, I might not get home. But the woman is 74 years old. She looks amazing, incredible. You know, I thought of her at that video of when she finally made it to shore in Key West from Cuba, where she looked like crap. And obviously she had been swimming for like 28 hours or something like that. But she looked gorgeous. She had a beautiful tan. She had wonderful shoes. She smelled delicious.
Yeah.
She smelled delicious.
She kind of like,
right?
you could smell it throughout the
When she walked around,
yeah.
she smelled delicious, right? And so, you know, something about Diana Nyad, and you folks at home maybe know, and everybody at the table, you know, she was against trans women playing in sports, you know? She was highly against it. So she was on my shit list for a while, right? And then she did her research, and then she came out publicly saying, I did my research, right? I talked to people. You should do the same. I educated myself, and now I don't think that way at all. That is the evolution that we should always do.
Moved to LA.
Staying teaching, right? Staying teachable, right? Like we're always talking about staying teachable. We're always talking about staying
That's
teachable.
so important when people have that come to Jesus
evolve.
moment.
It really is. The moment's more important than anything
It's so
else.
And anything else. At that moment, everything got erased. All the crap she said before got erased in my book. And so on Saturday, from that stage to 500 people, she said it again. She told her story again. And in no shame, kind of like, this is what I did, and I'm paying for it. Now, every single day, I will help every trans organization I need. She said even that she would like to run for office and maybe move back to Florida because this is where she really is needed. Then she called out the girls from The Stroll, which is an incredible docuseries that you have to see on HBO Max. Is it still HBO or HBO Max?
HBO Max.
Okay, it's called HBO Max.
It's just Max.
Okay, but the girls were there. They actually sat with Edward. He could tell us a little bit more about them. But they were impactful. They made a presence. They talked to everybody. And Diana from the stage called them out saying, this is how I used to be. This is how I feel now. You know, that's huge coming from a powerhouse like Diana Nyad.
It was major.
She also said that she wanted to play herself in the movie, but they told her that she couldn't because they're like, Diana, do you want people to come see the movie?
That's right.
We need Annette Bening.
Let me think about it.
You know?
Right.
But impactful. Like, I am forever changed just from her 13-minute speech that I'm going to put on my social media tonight for sure, and you'll be able to see it there.
And Stacey Ritter's too. Her speech was.
Stacey
was
great.
Her speech had me on close to tears a few times.
Yeah. No, I think I mean, you both like highlighted and captured the night. It was just amazing. And what I love about Diana, just as you said, was that she evolved, right? And that she admitted that she was wrong. It wasn't just like, oh, I did my research and I changed. No, I was wrong. I was wrong on this, and I loved it.
She didn't sugarcoat it.
No, she didn't sugarcoat it. Yeah,
so
I sat with her too, and the ladies from The Stroll. But I was like a personal researcher, so like I was like helping her with her speech. So it was like awesome. She was like, Edward, come here. It was like we knew each other forever.
Oh my God.
And it was great. We talked about New York, and it was just like a great connection. But she was pretty amazing, and I love her call to action. But the women from The Stroll, whoa. Like amazing.
Kristen in Egypt?
Kristen in Egypt.
Yes, I remember.
Egypt and I were like buddies. We were like, two peas in a pod there. And I mean, we spoke the whole night. It was great. What I loved about what Egypt said was that we're humans just like anyone else, and we deserve to be valued and respected. And that was her big thing, was that, in doing what they did, the documentary, it was just like they wanted to show their lived experiences, but they wanted people to value their who they are, trans women. And they wanted people to recognize that they're women, not, who they previously were.
Yeah.
Egypt got into some, in our private conversation, into some deep, conversation about her trauma and her family. And I won't reveal much of it, but I got a great insight into her as a person. And it was just amazing. It was one of those memorable moments. And what I loved that Robin did is that she actually lives in my hood in the Bronx. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
It was kind of crazy. So it was amazing. So it was great. I loved it. We're buddies now. We've been texting ever since.
What? I want their numbers. Watch The Stroll.
It's amazing. And
it looks amazing. So The Stroll is about sex workers in a meatpacking district that are trans, right?
That's right.
And that's what the story's about.
That's what it's about. Yep. It's a documentary on it. And so they both said that they would come back for a Pride Lines Gala in August.
I can't wait to see that.
Egypt said that she wants to perform because she's working on some music and everything like that. And she was like, I wanted to perform here, but it just wasn't in the cards. And I was like, well, come back in August.
Come do it for us.
I was like, and then she proceeded to say, well, I need a South Florida honey, so maybe you could be. And I was like, girl. I was like, girl.
that's
But it was
what
like,
it was.
I was like, girl, all right.
That's
But then,
what
yeah,
it
no, it was
was.
amazing, honestly.
No,
No.
it was.
It was honestly like just sitting with that table. It was just such a powerful table.
Oh, yeah, but
of
you were in a
powerful
table
people.
of icons. You were like,
Icons,
wow.
amazing.
Thought my table was cool, but like.
No, it was great, and I was deeply honored. It was a great event, very impactful.
Yes, make sure that you go on over to Stonewall. People don't know that we've got the biggest collection of archives right here in South Florida. And the Stonewall Museum just has that. And they just added a whole side of Diana Nyad, and she brought her own books and donated them to the library. So just beautiful. Go make sure that you check it out.
The other thing is that Egypt's outfit, like check out her on social media. She works with somebody in New York who's queer identifying as well. He's
The blue beautiful gown?
Yes,
Loved.
but listen,
Gorgeous.
you should see, like, check out her social media. Like her designer designs everything, and literally he is killing it with her. Like, all of her outfits are pretty amazing, and he's a queer person. I believe in supporting our queer community. Like,
Absolutely.
it's amazing. You got to check her out.
And check out all those logos that I said incorrectly last week. I want to say it correctly this time for gay barchives. Not gay bar chives, honey. There are now there's almost like 5,000 old gay bar logos that have been basically put into one
How
slideshow.
cool. Is that art? Who does that?
But I do love chives.
That
I
was on-
I love chives.
I love chives as well, but
I like
it
chives.
is gay barchives, and they were on all of the televisions during the cocktail hour.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Yeah,
I didn't
I had
realize
a
that.
moment because I saw Flaming Saddles from West Hollywood. I almost cried.
Flaming Sally's
Is that where
in
you
New York
got
as
that?
well.
That was
Yeah.
yes, I know the
Yeah.
New York bar very, very well.
Is that where certain things happen to you at those
Flaming
bars?
Saddles was one of my first DJ residencies.
Did they flame your saddle there?
Many times. Many different saddles and flames, to be fair.
It sounds like such an amazing event. I was photographing a wedding, a very different experience. But that sounded like an amazing event. I mean, just hearing you three talk about it,
Yeah.
sounds like really like a blow-away event.
They should be very happy. They should be
Yes.
very, very happy. I congratulated Robert and their team. They were fantastic, and we look forward to what you're going to bring us next year.
Yeah.
Well, next, let's queer up politics. Define Solemnize as Tennessee rolls back marriage equality with new law in just one sentence. Solemnize means to duly perform the ceremony of marriage. In a swift move that undermines marriage equality, Tennessee has passed a law allowing government officials to refuse to solemnize marriages, effectively targeting LGBTQ+ and other marginalized communities. Republican Governor Bill Lee signed House Bill 878 into law, stating, quote, "A person shall not be required to solemnize a marriage," end quote. This provision grants officiants the right to deny marriage certification based on personal beliefs. While proponents like Republican Senator Mark Pody, the bill's sponsor, argue the law upholds religious freedom, critics see it as a direct attack on LGBTQ+ rights. By allowing officials to refuse marriages, the law jeopardizes equal protection under the law for queer, interfaith, and interracial couples. Introduced last year by Republican lawmakers, the law is a significant setback for LGBTQ+ rights in Tennessee. In December of 2022, President Joe Biden enacted federal gay marriage legislation called the Respect for Marriage Act, aiming to uphold same-sex unions amid potential Supreme Court reversals and ensuring recognition of interracial marriages. However, a critical flaw remains. The act contains a loophole exempting religious organizations from marrying same-sex couples and allowing states to withhold same-sex marriage licenses. Tennessee wants to leverage this. Legal experts like Camilla Taylor of Lambda Legal believe that while the law may face legal challenges, its ambiguity can disrupt LGBTQ+ individuals' marriage rights before any judicial intervention. The law that is just 7 words long may be the next step to end codifying gay marriage in Tennessee and other states that may try to follow suit. This is just more really, it's frustrating. It makes me angry. It pisses me off. There's just so many things about it. And what is up with having Tennessee?
Yeah, what's going on with Tennessee?
With like,
Having a
because
bad year?
There's so
Bad
many
5 years?
progressive cities in Tennessee.
Right? Dollywood is there. Isn't Dollywood there?
And
Dollywood's in Tennessee?
What? Hello?
I thought maybe she'd like
So is
somewhere
Pigeon
better.
Forge. Isn't
Not
Pigeon
it
Forge
is
there too?
right.
Right. No, it is right. Yeah. No, I mean Nashville. I mean the other places that are progressive.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're a mixed bag, but they've had all the stuff with the drag queens in the last year and all this. I mean, what is happening there? And this. It's just more of the same that's going on nationally. You know, they're just trying to just worm their way into our rights.
Yeah.
You know, because we're just I don't know. It's just
They're right that they said that they never would touch. They just want to get the drag queens away from the children.
That's
but
it.
It'll be
It's
that's
all,
it.
it's all
Not gonna
part,
be anything
it's all
else.
Nobody else will be
It's all
affected.
part of
Yeah.
the same soup,
Yeah.
because the same people that are trying to do this are trying to taking away women's rights.
Yeah.
So it's all the same soup of just trying to get into every aspect of our life. It's not small government.
Yeah.
No,
at
no,
all.
it's
about as big as government can get.
Yeah.
In a woman's uterus, in your bedroom, in your it's just
No,
it drives
it's
me
crazy. I think they see a big opening with the Supreme Court, right? Like the Supreme Court
time.
already big time, reverse Roe versus Wade, and so this opened up the floodgates for all of those conservative.
Was it Roberts who even intimated that that said something about gay marriage, otherwise known as marriage?
Marriage equality. Yeah. I mean, so I think that they've seen an opening, and this is their opportunity to go in and strip us of our rights.
Yeah.
And what a shame. I think it was like 2009 when Obama was president that gay marriage became codified by the Supreme Court. And I remember, hearing Obama, who himself, we just talked about Diane and Nyad, who evolved. Obama evolved. Although I don't think he ever evolved. I think he was already there, but he played politics, because when you study who Obama was, like fundamentally, he was somebody who believed it.
Pro marriage equality.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so,
Pretty much.
Pretty much, pretty
That's
much.
the purpose.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But from 2009, when this was like codified by the Supreme Court, it's amazing that we're back here again.
Yeah.
But again, I think that opening is the fact that the Supreme Court has changed. It's very conservative.
It's a scary time.
It is a very, very scary time.
You know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for those couples. Those couples that maybe went to a certain church, right? Or grew up a certain way. And like, they want to celebrate their marriage in front of the priest or whoever who grew up with them. We were talking in one of the past segments about supporting people who support us, right? If you're getting married, I'm inefficient. I'll marry you. You know what I mean? The reality is that, you can go find someone who is LGBTQ plus friendly and don't give yourself an extra headache. We shouldn't have to. I get it. We should be able to pick whoever we want to marry us, but it's not the world that we're in right now, unfortunately. And things could get worse.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately it's so much more deeper than that, right? It's about our ability to be able to visit our spouses in the hospital, right? To have taxes, right, where we could file joint taxes and be on each other's insurance. And so it is so much to this. So it's not just this the sanctimony of marriage, right? But it's about
what happens
things that are fundamental to our everyday lives.
And what was the woman's name? She's out of my consciousness. The one who wouldn't give the marriage license. She was famous for that.
Oh, she got a fine. She got a fine for.
People are doing their job.
The woman with the scrunchie.
We don't even deserve to.
Yeah, but you
doesn't even deserve us.
People who are doing supposed to be doing a job, and your job is this, and you can't do it because of your religion. It just makes me crazy.
It's crazy.
Either you're going to do your job correctly,
or get another job.
Get another job.
Tonight's broadcast is presented by viewers like you and the generous support by Visit Lauderdale. Everyone under the sun.
Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
We finished tonight's Queer News headlines with a segment we call LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up entertainment. Cast of The Devil Wears Prada reunites at SAG Awards. In a star-studded reunion at the 2024 Screen Actors Guild Awards, the iconic trio from The Devil Wears Prada, that's Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, and Emily Blunt, had fans screaming with delight. Despite the lack of a sequel, the gay internet was over the moon to see their favorite stars together again. Streep, Hathaway, and Blunt graced the stage to present the SAG Award for Best Actor in a Comedy Series, which went to Jeremy Allen White of The Bear. As the humorous banter continued after that, Blunt teased Streep about her resemblance to Miranda Priestley. Is the chemistry still alive? Who knows? Maybe there's hope for Devil Wears Prada 2 after all.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up trans rights. America's first federal hate crime over identity leads to guilty verdict of black trans woman's murder. In a landmark federal trial in South Carolina, man is convicted of a hate crime for the killing of black transgender woman Dime Doe. Lamique Ritter was found guilty of shooting Doe 3 times on August 4, 2019, due to her gender identity. Ritter was also convicted of firearm use and obstructing justice. The trial focused on the secret relationship between Doe and Ritter, with Ritter growing agitated after their affair was exposed in Allendale, South Carolina. Assistant U.S. Attorney Brock Andrews emphasizes the verdict's significance in combating violence based on gender identity and other protected characteristics.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up students and youth culture. Candlelit vigils break out across America on Oklahoma's next Benedict death over school bullying. Communities across the U.S. united over the weekend in vigils honoring next Benedict, a non-binary teen who passed away after a school altercation. Benedict, 16, shared being attacked by 3 girls in a video. The Owasso Police Department disclosed that Benedict's death wasn't trauma-related. However, the cause of death is not yet revealed. Vigils across the USA, like the one in Huntington Beach, California, are drawing huge turnouts, with people rallying for love. Cannon Durham's From Pride at the Pier emphasized the importance of ongoing support beyond this moment. A GoFundMe page created for next Benedict's funeral expenses has surpassed its $15,000 goal, raising over $144,000. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has also issued a heartfelt statement on Benedict's passing.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up entertainment. Disney princes go gay at Etsy and the workroom art. While a gay Disney prince is yet to materialize, the impact of the studio's heteronormative characters on our sexual development is undeniable. The Workroom, led by 2 gay Latino creators, offers a queer reinterpretation of these iconic figures through prints on Etsy, selling for $18.99 to $29.99. You can see Prince Naveen flexing his muscles, Kristoff transforming into a burly bear, and Tarzan, my personal favorite, preparing for Grindr with a naked selfie. As these creations highlight the importance of queer representation, we really hope Disney gives us a gay prince too.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up entertainment. Wait. John Cena just joined OnlyFans like you've never seen me before as Rock Hard Rod. John Cena surprised fans by announcing a new venture on social media platform X. He shared a link in his bio, leading to what appeared to be his new OnlyFans account. The gay community went breathless. However, upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a fictional character, Ricky Stanicky, who will be portrayed by Rock Hard Rod Cena in an upcoming movie. The fictional OnlyFans account describes Stanicky as an impersonator, philanthropist, investment banker, socialite, cancer survivor, and method actor. The post created excitement among queer fans of Cena for potentially spicy content, but unfortunately it was just a clip from the movie. Directed by Peter Farrelly, it will premiere on Amazon Prime on March 7th.
That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community and the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news story.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of a very large television audience, watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor at Queer News Tonight, FayWhat? And on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the incredible anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Dr. Edward Summers, flex real quick. Yes! Dale Stine, flex that photography arm. Yes! And DJ Eric Restivo, yes!
Your turn, Faye.
Yes! We will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you good night.